Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You were tuning in to the Pros and Cons, the Centralist podcast brought to you from the heart of West Virginia. Now, here is your host, the new young face of hope, because the old one was lousy, Assad Daria Khan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Pros and Cons podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Assad Daria Khan. Today we have a very special episode for you, because today I welcome on our Equality Forum. Yes, that is correct. Our Equality Forum is here today. If you happen to know my Equality Forum, it is consisted of Miss Elissa Mills and Miss Robyn Riggs-Simons. How are you guys doing today?
We're good. I'm good.
That is perfect. So first off, I want to go on ahead and say a couple things. So first, we have a giveaway today. Yes, that is correct, ladies and gentlemen. We have a giveaway of a sealed silver Ike dollar. So make sure to stay tuned into the very end of our episode, and you can go on ahead and get a chance to win that silver Ike dollar. Also, I want to go on ahead and wish a happy anniversary to Miss Pam Bucklew and Chuck Bucklew. They are absolutely amazing. I'm hoping, she is listening in right now, so Pam, happy anniversary. And we'll go on ahead and get you in on a episode here soon. Actually, maybe her and Chuck, as soon as this whole entire Corona thing goes on ahead and dies down. So how are you guys doing with this whole entire Corona thing?
Surviving. I miss getting to socially interact with people like I usually do, and I really miss trivia on Wednesday nights.
So they've officially canceled trivia.
Well, nothing's being held. You can't have more than 6 people in a group at one. Well, you could have. It has to be less than 10. And considering there's like 13 teams that play, that would be exceeding that number.
Yeah. I mean, it's very fun to go to the trivia, but you do end up kind of losing your hearing a little bit, because towards the end of the night, everyone really gets happy. But it's a good time to go on ahead and spend with your friends, and also get very competitive.
Good, clean family fun.
I had to stop because I started getting really competitive. Like, I could, if I went over there...
Had to stop, you never really started.
Well, anytime I would go over there, I would go on ahead and get mad. And then if I used to be part of your team, I had to switch teams because you never listened.
I got over being mad as far as with other teams years ago. Now I just get mad if we don't finish well.
Well, I used to go all the time, but I had to switch teams because you never listened.
Right.
So, Robyn, what are you doing to go on ahead and get around this whole Corona COVID-19?
Well, I keep a group text with all my daughters. We keep track of minute by minute of what each one of them are doing right now. They're bragging about how they're making homemade bread, which they've never done before, and they're excited.
Okay, Robyn's daughters, if you happen to be listening, I love homemade bread, so you can go on ahead and bring it over. I'm not going to give my address out, or I'm going to end up having some people calling and threatening and stuff like that. So just go on ahead and send me a message. I love the homemade bread. But that is awesome. So first, I want to go on ahead and talk about our Equality Forum. So how long ago did we start this? I forget. It was about a year ago? Year or two?
No, it's probably been 2.5 years ago.
So it's been a while. And we made this forum to have a distinct advantage of kind of just friends everywhere. To go on ahead and just bring people together, because there's been so much nastiness right now out in, it doesn't matter if it's political, it doesn't matter if it's, anything. Stereotypes are being thrown around, and it's going crazy. So that's actually what I wanted to go on ahead and talk about today. Is currently we have the 2020 election. So this is going to be the city election. So this city election, for those who do not know, who are tuning in from outside or just live under a rock, I guess you could say.
Or in a cave.
This 2020 election is probably turning into the nastiest survival episode physically possible, would you say?
I would say that this particular election's a little meaner than the last few have been. But then again, that's life in the political forum. I've heard jokes before that if a person ever thought about studying their genealogy, The lazy way to do it is sign up and run for office. And before you know it, your entire family tree's been brought out in the public eye.
What would you say, Robyn?
I agree. I think this is a very nasty election. What's interesting is that the nastiness only comes out in the city election. You don't hear any, a lot of this going through the county commission or some of the others. It seems like the city election gets everybody gone.
Well, the city election's over in May. I think once May is over with, you're going to be bombarded with nastiness as far as the general election's concerned. Then you'll have everybody fighting that's running in those. But see, everybody that's running for office within the city offices, they'll be elected in May. They have an election that's one and done.
Yeah, so is this really necessary to go on ahead and have all this nastiness? I mean, I'm going to go on ahead and touch in on a couple of places that, are spreading the most amount of trash. But, is it really necessary? I mean, we got how many seats open? Like 3 seats open. We have 2 incumbents coming in.
You've got the mayor. Being elected within the city will be the mayor, the city recorder, and 3 city council seats. And I'll jump a little bit ahead of you here and say, I personally have noticed that it's not necessarily, it wasn't the candidates who started being nasty. It's the special interest group that is backing certain candidates. There is one group in particular that they kind of started it.
Well, I mean, this also has been going around forever. I mean, I was actually looking into it. I mean, even before we officially started this election, trash was being thrown. So, I mean, it's just, to be honest, I think what we could go on ahead and benefit from this, let's just turn in the city election into Survivor. Just every so often, someone just takes a little note, wraps it up, puts it, and we'll have a camera on them, and they can say, okay, Miss Mills, I don't think she should go into the city council. So that is why I'm voting her out. And then you wrap it up and then you put it into a little thing and then they shake it. I think that we would actually get much farther if we went on ahead and had like a Survivor type of episode for the city council. What do you think?
Yes, but that wouldn't benefit the city because if voters are smart in a city election, since most of I think all of the offices are nonpartisan. You need to vote for the person or persons you feel will do the best job. It's not about who's the best liked. It's not a popularity contest. It's all about who is going to do the most to benefit the city and the residents of the city. And I think somewhere in all of this, there are some things getting lost because there are individuals out there that are too focused on their own special interests. This needs to be about what's going to be the best for the city of Buchanan and its residents.
I agree. So what do you have to say, Robyn?
I think that it needs to be about the city as well. I think it needs to be about how this crisis we're in right now is completely turning the election around to where we're in survival mode. We're no longer in let's beat each other up mode and try to, we need to pull together, love one another, and help each other make it through this election.
I agree. So one of the biggest things, one of the reasons actually why I wanted to bring you both on today was if people are not do not know this, there's been a new site that has started. It's called the Buchanan Rag, and it's going out there and putting out a whole bunch of stuff on people, including people are putting out now addresses for people for other candidates or anyone they don't support, and they're putting out a lot of stuff. So I wanted to go on ahead and bring this up. So now we have there's 2 sites. There's multiple, but we have Buchanan Values, we have Our Buchanan, which is run by Mr. Cowger, Mountaineer Journal, which is run by Mr. Cowger, and we have the Buchanan Rag. And I think that's, the 4 that are the most kind of biggest right now. All 4 are out there and trashing. They put out a whole bunch of stuff on everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. You can even be a friend, and you know that from experience, Elissa, that, you know, it doesn't even matter if you're a friend. They go out there and they just start bashing whoever they want to. But you have our Buchanan, which is conservative. You have Mountaineer Journal, which is conservative. Then you have Buchanan Rag, which seems to be leaning more liberal. And then you have Buchanan Values, which seems to be leaning more conservative.
Actually, I'm thinking Buchanan Rag is just psychotic.
So the thing is, if we go on ahead and if people hate the Buchanan Rag and people hate everything that they're posting, shouldn't the goal be to go on ahead and shut down all of the nasty trash throwing sites rather than to go on ahead and just shut down just one?
Well, absolutely. The thing is, you're going to have people who come back and say that you must remember that we are all guaranteed our constitutional rights. First one being freedom of speech. Now, on the Buchanan Rag, a word that's been coming up a lot lately is slander. Well, I'm not an attorney. I don't profess to be an attorney. The only thing I've noticed is the stuff that's been put out there, it may not be pretty, and it's certainly not nice, but it doesn't fall under the label of slander, provided that it's the truth. I mean, if somebody, they've got mugshots on there, they've got arrest records on there, unless you can prove that that mugshot is falsified, it is what it is.
I agree. So what do you have to say about everything, Robyn?
I think that every one of these sites need to step down immediately. I think they're causing a lot of problems that will not be easily solved afterwards, and that we need to shut them down. They need to stop it. They need to get along. They need to quit threatening people. They need to quit telling things that are not true. Even if something is true, it will come out. We don't need an anonymous journal, rag, or whatever doing it for us. We are all smart people.
And I mean, it also, with all these things coming out, it proves, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's conservative or it's liberal, it proves that there is hate in our town, which, despite some people are saying there is no hate here, it's very clear that there is, hate.
It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of Buchanan, West Virginia, better yet, an area that I think everybody in Upshur County is familiar with, Helvetia. They always have, in Pickens, they always have the smallest graduating class. I don't care if you're in an area that small or an area the size of New York City, you're going to find groups of people that, let's just say, they don't like a lot of things.
It doesn't matter where you go, there will be hate. There will be
There's
hate.
going to be negative.
So there's going to be whatever. Now, Buchanan's a beautiful town. I don't think it's full of hate, but of course there are those small, groups of people that, do go on ahead and do this. And that it counts even, journal and values and rag and all that stuff. There's still those little groups that go on ahead and, put that stuff out there. So...
And the bad part is, it's kind of like driving on the interstate and seeing a car accident. It's not pretty. It's not something that everybody should look at, but you can't
rubberneck.
Look. You're going to look when you go by.
Yeah, you rubberneck. You can't. It's sad, but at the same time, you have to watch it. So anyway, you say that like politicians are fair game because technically they are, because they all are public figures.
Well, it's not just
running
politicians. Once you put your face and or your name out there in the public eye, you're going to find that you basically become a target for the good, the bad, the nice, and the ugly.
I agree. But, it is said that politicians are fair game and private folks are not. So shouldn't it be off limits for not only the Mountaineer Journal, but our Buchanan and, all these different sites and the rag and all these different sites that go out there and they just start trashing random people?
It's not good.
I mean, it's horrible. And on top of that, you know, the number one worst site is probably the Buchanan Values, which if anyone's actually seen this, they are now posting stuff. I got on with, I think actually you came on the one day that CJ Rylands was, they put out one on poor CJ.
Yeah, that, I want to tell you what, that was just totally uncalled for.
And now on top of that, I mean, they have put one out on Shauna Jones, which you could tell they were grasping. They had nothing on it. But then on top of that, they did one for Scott Preston, where they actually took a clip of our show, Coffee Anyone. They illegally took the clip and then went on ahead and reused it and put it up there.
There you're in a legal area.
It is being taken care of legally, but you know, they go on ahead and they're taking these clips. I mean, it shows that, I mean, they also called like Matt Kerner. They said, oh, you are a deadbeat dad, which you don't call anyone a deadbeat. I mean, it was proven that everything was taken care of and they're going out there calling him a deadbeat. That's just nasty. I mean, you don't call anyone that. And then they went, I mean, they're constantly putting stuff out. Whenever I had to go on ahead and withdraw from office, or from running for office, you know, they were putting nasty stuff about me, which, okay, let them. But, you know, going after CJ, going after Scott Preston, going after Matt, I mean, when does it stop?
It probably won't. My grandfather was involved in politics many years ago in Weston. And from the time I was a little girl, one of the things Granddad taught me was always clean out your own closets. Everybody, I don't care who you are, even probably the Pope, has skeletons in their closet. So if you're smart, what you do, according to Granddad, is every once in a while you throw open the closet door, you bring the skeletons out yourself. You talk about them to people. You make sure that there's people out there that, you know the good, the bad, and the ugly about yourself. And then that way, when other people try to make an issue out of it, they'll be hit in the face with, oh, please, you don't have any news? We've known that for years. You know, don't try to hide stuff because it's going to get brought out on you. Just go ahead and bring it out yourself.
And on top of that, I mean, they're going, like, our Buchanan went after myself and my father because we had shared a post and then went after Mayor McCauley because he had liked that post. I mean, it's getting sad the way that everything is going.
Well, and people fear what they don't understand or what they aren't educated about. And that's where a lot of that comes from. For example, you and your father, my experience with you's been you're not hardcore and you're not practicing, but you are of the Muslim faith. Well, big deal. I was baptized into the Catholic faith. People probably fear. Just because somebody is a Muslim doesn't mean they're a bad person. It's just like not all Catholics are bad people. Catholics have gotten their share of bad press, and Lord knows you've had some people within the faith that weren't good. But not all Catholics are bad, not all Muslims are bad, not all Democrats are bad, and not all Republicans are bad. You have to realize you've got the good and the bad in everything, in every walk of life.
And especially right now, I mean, people are going through and, we're in this disaster of COVID-19, which is taking people, left and right. We just had the first death the other day, actually yesterday. Why are people doing this at a time that healthcare professionals are fighting and trying to make sure everything is okay? And
which death are you referring to?
There was a lady yesterday that passed away from Sundale, I think.
Oh, from the nursing home in Morgantown.
Yeah.
Fairmont.
Oh, Fairmont. Okay, sorry.
So, why are they doing this whenever we have such a bad, issue going on right now?
Probably because it takes their mind off the COVID-19. And speaking of COVID-19, everybody knows the president has now said that we're under quarantine through April the 30th. Well, I've heard unofficially that this is going to be through July and maybe even August. Folks, they always say it's never bad, but what it can't get better. In this case, I think we're going to have to deal with bad for a little while longer before we see better. But the best thing everybody can do is stay home.
Wash your hands, stay home. I mean, just take the precautions. That's one of the biggest things.
And observe the 6-foot safety zone.
I agree. I mean, even while we're recording this, we're making sure we're taking all the precautions.
We're not hugging, we're not touching, we're not sharing we're not using the same microphone. Yeah.
And we're even making sure, like after every single episode and broadcast, I actually sanitize all the equipment to make sure
Well, you have to.
So, and actually, a lot of the stuff we're doing, if anyone is sick or is worried that they might get sick, we're doing everything through phone. So they're not even coming in. So it's only me going up here.
I will say one good thing about COVID-19, I'm catching up on old episodes of programs I enjoy watching.
That is true. So one of the things that I want to go on ahead and start in our comment section is, what is your favorite quarantine activity now that the whole COVID-19 is going on? Maybe we can give some people some new ideas. And
well, for anybody that isn't real tech savvy, it's not hard to get on. I get on Netflix and watch old TV shows and old movies.
Have you seen that new Tiger Show or something like that?
No, I keep hearing about it, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm still catching up on my favorites.
So my next question is, I had just mentioned the Mountaineer Journal, which a lot of people go on ahead and put out, which again is owned by, Mr. Cowger. So why are people so scared of the journal right now?
I think people, again, they can be intimidated if they think there's a large group that feels a certain way. It's kind of a bully effect. But people themselves don't want to be called out. So it's easier to go along. Like, say you've got a group of 8 or 10 people and they say, this is how we feel and this is the way it's going to be. Well, some individuals may feel it easier to go along with that group rather than speak out against them for fear of being victimized next.
What do you have to say, Robyn? So my question was, why are people so scared of the journal, the Mountaineer Journal?
Well, I think that people are afraid to say anything in general, whether it's the Mountaineer Journal or whether it's any of the others, because it seems like it's so treacherous. Every little word you say is being treated like warfare, and our goal is to get the best people elected, not to tear people down, not to destroy people. That is wrong.
I agree. And I mean, it seems as though like we can't even tell the truth anymore with all these sites, whether they are, one is truthful, one is not, whatever else. It seems as though like no one can tell the truth anymore. Everyone just wants to go on ahead and put people down.
I have always been raised to believe that if I'm considering someone in an upcoming election, if I'm thinking about voting for that individual, it's my responsibility to try to get to know that individual and ask them any questions I have that are of concern to me. For example, in a city election in a small town like Buchanan, it should be very easy under normal circumstances, not COVID-19, to approach the candidate and just ask their general questions. With this being under quarantine, your best bet, email the individual, or better yet, pick up the phone and give them a call. Ask them how they feel about this issue or that issue. Don't listen to somebody else's opinion.
I agree. What do you have to say, Robyn?
I agree, and especially right now, the election is turned differently now. We're in a survival mode. We have to elect the people who we know we can count on to take care of us. It's a whole different ballgame with this coronavirus going on. We're in survival mode. Who do we trust to take care of us and to take care of our money?
I agree. So now I want to go on ahead and get back into our Buchanan. Like I said, they have went on ahead and posted this stuff on my father and I. So they went out there and they were, pretty much doing like a tar and feather party, trying to, say, oh, someone clicked this, someone did this. How is that different from the rag?
If the rag my experience has been in reading this rag, if they put something out there, they have facts to back it up. It's not based on supposition. It's not based on something that's been either totally fabricated or pulled out of thin air. The rag, although ugly, has facts to back up, or appears to have facts to back up what they're accusing. Now, what I don't like with either group or with any group like that, I do not want to hear that. I don't like to hear things like, well, there have been cases where people were alluded to being involved in the Klan, the Ku Klux Klan. Seriously? People, come on, this is Buckhannon. We don't need to be hearing about stuff like that. In fact, those groups shouldn't even exist. That's a hate group. That is an absolute hate group, and no.
I agree. And it seems as though, like, I mean, people are, you know, why is it that these candidates not just going ahead and tell us kind of their plan instead of people going ahead and going after everything?
Ask me that again, I'm sorry.
So, you know, like right now, instead of like the candidates going ahead and like people actually reporting on what the candidates want to do, what they want to go on ahead and, you know, bring to the plate, or, you know, what they're bringing up to the plate, instead they're just, you know, people are just keep throwing mud. Wouldn't it be better to go ahead and just hear what the candidates have to offer than?
Well, the problem is we can't right now. We can't have meet the candidate forums because we're all under a quarantine.
All right, so just real quick, I'm going to go on ahead and turn something over. So if many of you guys don't know, here recently, the Buchanan Rag posted one of their articles was about someone that is close to Robyn, and that person wanted to go on ahead and say a couple of words. So what I'm going to do is we're going to actually put this through the program so everyone can actually hear it. So I'm going to just go ahead and take your phone real quick. I'm just adjusting our levels here. All right, Mr. Weaver, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm not doing good. How are you doing? I'm at the doctor's office.
Oh, man. Well, look at the bright side. It's nothing like COVID or anything like that.
No.
That's good. That is very good. So you want to go on ahead and say a couple of words live on air?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Robyn had kind of talked to you about it a little bit earlier, kind of to go on ahead and address what is currently being put out.
I don't know what's being put out, but let me get to the bottom of this real quick. I'm an American citizen. I'm not a bigot. I have strong beliefs. I kind of believe, you know, what the Bible says. I don't believe in twisting it around. But I'm not a bigot. I may have said some things in the past that's real strong. But I am very strong in my beliefs. So if I've hurt anybody's little feelings, I apologize to them. Now, anybody want to talk to me about a meeting? I think I should be there. Okay? Thank you very much.
All righty. Thank you so much, sir. All right. And like I said, that was Mr. Carl Weaver, who actually had an article posted about him a little bit earlier. So, anyway, so what are some other things that you guys want to go on ahead and bring up and talk about?
Well, I just got an alert on my phone, and I've got some good news. The Tokyo Olympics that were postponed, they are planning on holding those next summer since they couldn't be held this summer. So there's something to look forward to on a positive note.
And that's actually one thing I wanted to also bring up is, you know, the Strawberry Festival got
Postponed. Till next year.
How do you guys feel about that?
Oh, that's terrible. The Strawberry Festival, I think for a lot of residents of Buchanan, is like a giant family reunion. Family, friends come to Buchanan, they get together. I could name people Well, John Howard, whose family used to own the Stardust Restaurant. John comes back to Buchanan every single year for the Strawberry Festival. He gets together with old classmates, old friends. I mean, that's what people do. And for us to miss out on that opportunity this year, it's going to be sad. I personally love the parades. I'm not going to get to see the visiting bands. I'm going to miss that. But there's always next year.
I agree with that. I think that the Strawberry Festival should have went on, and we should have just made it what we could. Maybe it wouldn't be as big and as wonderful as it has in the past, but in the very beginning it was small, and people enjoyed it, and they liked coming out for it. And it's one bright thing that we have to look forward to. So why not just put together what we can and go on with the show?
Well, the sad part is, if you obey that 6-foot, what I call safety zone, there'd be no way to do it. You wouldn't have had anything as far as the parade goes, because even the marching groups are within 6 feet. I mean, you're basically an arm's length away. If you're in a marching group, they couldn't have had the auctions down at the courthouse. You'd have been within 6 feet. I mean, other than just a group of cars driving in a line down Canal Street and people watching them out their windows, there wouldn't have been much to do. One thing, though, that's new that I like, Robyn, have you heard about the bear hunting that they're doing now?
No.
Where people take stuffed bears, because a lot of people who have children, and even some adults, are getting kind of crazy being cooped up. So the neighbors and the community people put stuffed bears in their windows, and people drive around and count and see how many bears they can find. This is real popular. I guess it's kind of started, that I know of, down in Stonewood Nutter Fort, and people are posting bear sightings now.
Exactly. Let's get creative. Let's get creative and almost make it a game to see how much fun we can have doing things differently this year. We don't have to sit around and do nothing. The middle of May, things might be looking much brighter, and I pray they are.
I just hope this is over soon.
We should actually, it should be over soon. I'm also getting some calls in and some comments in that they weren't able to hear the phone call because our broadcast interrupted. So I apologize for that, and hopefully, maybe in the final, because we'll have an actual video be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So hopefully that will go on ahead and take care of that. You can actually hear it a little bit better. So, is there anything else you guys would go on ahead, or you guys would like to bring up?
Well, thank you for asking to come on here today, Daria. I have believed that the American people will pull together. We will get through this. Everything will be brighter. There is hope. We can't give up. We have to love each other all the more and just do it.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
First and foremost, I want to thank McDonald's for being open this morning.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored. We are not sponsored by McDonald's.
I don't care. Had it not been for Robyn picking up my morning glass of iced tea, I might not be here and be bright-eyed and bushy. Well, I'm not bushy-tailed. Not in the mornings. Everybody that knows me knows I'm a night owl.
Well, I would like to go on ahead and take a second for everyone at home to clap for Elissa Mills, because she was able to get up at 7:30 this morning and actually come onto our show. So that's a very good thing. Very, very good
Now,
thing.
you know,
I will say I had to call her twice.
I had to call her once. She did answer on the first time, which is another thing that I would like to go on ahead and clap for Elissa Mills for.
okay, for anybody that doesn't know me, in November I had a surgery on an ear that left me deaf in one ear. So depending on how I'm laying on the pillow, I may not hear the alarm at all. My pets, however, if the alarm continues to go off or if the phone continues to ring, will start poking at me to get me up. So I tell people, I always have somebody that calls me, and I tell them just keep calling until I answer.
On the contrary, you also really barely ever answered before then, too. So we can't really say that too much either.
You know, I've noticed there's a pattern here. I come on here because I'm asked to come on and give an opinion or whatever, and I end up being the brunt of the jokes.
Elissa, I will admit that I love being your neighbor because you are a great form of entertainment.
Oh, well, thank you, Rob. Well, you're just saying that because with everybody being quarantined, there can't be any attention on your naked deck.
Okay, that's enough of that.
All right. Well, I think that we're going to go on ahead and start into our giveaway. So, like I said, today our giveaway.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time was I saw an Eisenhower silver dollar.
Yeah, so it's a sealed Eisenhower silver dollar. And today we're going to go on ahead and switch it up. We have a pretty basic question, you could say. But at the same time, it's still a little difficult for someone who might not know too many cars or anything like that. So
Okay,
it's
so
going to be a car
trivia,
question.
folks.
It's going to be a car question, actually. So like I said, this is for the silver dollar. So it's a Ike silver dollar, 1971 Ike dollar in a nice sealed case. I wish I had an auctioneer voice. Could you imagine me going ahead and going up here and trying to be an auctioneer?
Cute. That's hard to do, I understand.
All right, so our question is, what animal is on the logo of a Ferrari sports car? Go on ahead and
I know this answer.
Go on ahead and some people don't. Go on ahead and text in. Text our actually the first comment. We'll go on ahead and get it. So I'm going to go on ahead and turn on our music, and we'll go on ahead and see. just to go on ahead and remind everyone, the question is, what is the animal on the Ferrari logo? This is for a silver Ike dollar in a nice sealed case. So again, we're going to go on ahead and see. You can go on ahead and comment your answer in. It doesn't matter if you search it up or anything else. Just go on ahead and send a comment in, and you can go on ahead and get a chance to win this beautiful Ike dollar. Congratulations, Mr. Rick Edwards, for winning the Eisenhower dollar in the case. The correct answer was a horse. So that is the correct answer. Is a was the and thank you, Elissa, for your for your perfect.
That's what you get for getting me up early on Monday morning.
Well, you did go on ahead and get a nice iced tea, so that should wake you up at least a little bit. But that is correct, Mr. Edwards. It is a prancing horse. So you went on ahead and won the Ike silver dollar in the case. So go on ahead and text into the program and let us know where we can meet you, send it, whatever else. You can also always pick it up at, I'll give you an address to go on ahead and pick it up as well. So congratulations, you won the Eisenhower dollar. Well, I think that is about it that we have for today's show. Would you guys like to go on ahead and say anything else?
I'm going to say that I'm very much looking forward to the city election. I understand we're going to be getting together the night of the election to discuss as the returns come in.
That is correct. We are actually going to have an episode of Politics Today. We also have Scott Preston coming on. Damon Carter is coming on tomorrow to go on ahead and...
Damon Cater?
Caters, yes, sorry. He's going to be talking a little bit about some stuff. So we have some Politics Today episodes coming out as well. But yes, we will be getting together a little bit closer to the election and maybe even the night of the election. And we'll go on ahead and discuss about some more things and see how it went and do an evening episode as well.
Well, and although it's sad that there's negativity out there, all I know is I sincerely hope that whether it's negative, positive, whatever, neutral even, I just hope it spurs people into getting up off their duffs and actually voting in this city election.
That's the most important thing.
Robyn, tell them why every vote counts.
Oh, that's easy for me to tell. I run for re-election about 4 years ago, and when they counted the votes, I was one vote shy. Now, I could have asked for a recount, but I chose not to do that. I decided to go with the American spirit. You know, you win or you lose. May the best man win. And I congratulate Tom O'Neill for winning that seat, and I'm not sorry I did it.
That is excellent. Anything else? Anything else from you guys?
Everybody, please go vote.
Yes, that's the most important thing. Please vote. I mean, every vote counts. That's one sad thing is I constantly hear, oh, well, it's only one vote. It doesn't matter. But one vote adds up to another vote.
One vote absolutely matters.
So it's just every single vote matters. All right.
And one more time, congratulations, Chuck and Pam Bucklew, on your 1-year anniversary.
Yes,
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Chuck and Pam Bucklew. Not anything else, please. Everyone, get your peas in one pod and go on ahead and realize it's Bucklew now. Get it straight.
I didn't know anybody hadn't.
Oh yes, a lot of people have.
I would like to say this. I have a lot of friends in Buchanan. I hope we all stay friends. I hope we all love each other. And no matter what, we have to help each other right now. This is a tremendous time in our country. We have to help each other.
Stand together, not divided. All right, and with that marks the end of our live broadcast. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and during these rough times to take care of each other, for that is the only way we can get through this all. Hey, announcer, take us out.
Thanks for tuning in to the Pros and Cons podcasts. Check back daily for more episodes. And remember, if everyone around you is an asshole, maybe you're the asshole.